of Craig Husted, and outside the 37J, Jake Schlegel. Row 2, the J73 of Joe Conklin and the 11 of Bill Pasquale. Row 3, the 87 of Bill Rick and the Y40 of Brian Robertson. Row number 4, the 112 of Mike Van Pelt and the 19J of Jeff Hyham. Row 5, the 201 of Dave Rocket and the 55X of Barry Filipowski. Row number 6 on the inside, the 88 of Willie Lindsay, and outside spot number 12, the 16 of Ken Pettit. Row 7 would be the 37S of Lee Krutz and the 2 of Frank DeRosa. Row number 8 on the inside, the J72 of Dan Conklin, and on the outside of row number 8, the 53 Junior of Tony Archieri. Row number 9 on the inside, spot number 17, the 1A of Jimmy Redner Jr., and outside of Jimmy from Port Ewan, New York, in car number 26, Bill Lease. Back on hand this evening from Milford, Pennsylvania, back in the 1A. So the caution light gets turned out around the Speedway. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car sets them free up in turn number 3. Craig Husted, Jake Schlegel, side by side. They get set to come off of turn number 4 this time. They hit the go-ahead marker up there in turn number 4. Starter Kenny Marshall raised the green flag, and down the front straightaway we go. Bumper to bumper, look out, Brian Robertson gets it up just a little bit square way down in turn number 1, gets it around the wrong way as Craig Husted and Jake Schlegel off at turn number 1, keep it going in the right direction, down the back straightaway. Robertson fires it up, goes back on the tail end. Meanwhile, back up in the front right now, Jake Schlegel holds on to the number 1 spot with Craig Husted and Bill Pasquale side by side for spot number 2. Off at turn number 4. 1 lap now down in the record book. Bill Pasquale looks down to the low side for the number 1 spot down towards turn number 1. Jake Schlegel up on the high side. Hangs on to it right now with Joe Conklin back in spot number 3. Conklin with the Artron Transmissions J73. 3 feature wins in the 91 season. Wants the runner-up spot away from Pasquale as they go down towards turn number 3. Bill Pasquale falls back to spot number 3 with Conklin taking over the runner-up spot, chasing down Jake Schlegel. Off at turn number 4. Conklin closing in very, very quickly on Schlegel. Looks up to the high side, down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. A battle shaping up for the number 1 spot. Schlegel down the low side. Joey Conklin up on the high side. Side by side, we got him going. Schlegel hanging on to the spot with Conklin off of the high side. Little more power this time off of turn number 2. Grabs the number 1 spot away. Pasquale now also taking over the number 2 spot as Schlegel falling back. Bill Rick holds on to spot number 4 and Mike Van Pelt, spot number 5. Off of turn number 4, Joe Conklin, your number 1 man down the front straightaway this time. Holding on to the number 1 spot with Bill Pasquale second, and now Mr. Bill grabs spot number 3. Okay. Mr. Bill Rick back there in spot number 3 right now, being chased by Jake Schlegel and Mike Van Pelt. Now begins to mount the challenge. Here comes Willie Lindsay with the Skull Racing 88. Down to the low side. Schlegel throwing a little bit of smoke out the back end. Now back there in spot number 4. 4 laps down, this time by 4 to go for race leader Joey Conklin. Bill Pasquale trying to close the gap between himself and number 1 man Joe Conklin. Back there in spot number 2. Bill Rick holds on to spot number 3. Schlegel, spot number 4. And Willie Lindsay round out the top 5. Down the back straightaway. Lindsay now begins to mount the challenge to Schlegel. Looks up to the high side. Willie Lindsay from Yonkers, New York, holds on to the number 5 spot, trying to work himself past Schlegel now. Looks up to the high side, keeps it up there, side by side off a turn number 4 for spot number 4. Lindsay now grabs the spot. Schlegel back to pit. Ken Pettit trying to work his way through the field back here with the A&B Construction number 16. Your current number 1 man in rookie street stock points, Ken Pettit. Way back there right now in spot number 8, trying to work himself up now and goes by Cousin Ed Conklin down towards turn number 3. Off at turn number 4 this time. 6 laps down, 2 to go for race leader Joey Conklin. Conklin out of Pine Island, New York, holding on to a very comfortable margin as your race leader. Down there to pick up County Auto Group right here in Middletown, New York.
Okay, Buck, come in. We're going.
So the caution light gets turned out around the Speedway. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car sets him free up in turn number 3. 3-time feature winner Joe Conklin out of Pine Island, New York with the Artron Transmissions J73. Your number 1 man off of turn number 4. Green flag flies, and down the front straightaway they go. caution out on the Speedway once again. Yellow lights out around. Back straight away, the Tri-County Auto Group safety truck once again quick to the call back there to pick up the debris to make the track race ready for the rookie shirt stalkers. 6 laps are down, 2 more to go. 1991 Chevy Board, a Fulton Chevrolet pace car sets him free up in turn number 3. Joe Conklin getting set to come off of turn number 4 once again. Off of turn number 4, Joe Conklin, your number 1 man. Off of turn number 4, green flag flies down the front, straight away we go. Conklin, your number 1 man. Bill Pasquale right on the back bumpers. They head down towards turn number 1 with Bill Rick in spot number 3. Ken Pettit now all the way up to spot number 4, and the 37J of Jake Schlegel rounding out the top 5. Down the back straightaway, J73 holds on to the number 1 spot. Bill Pasquale trying to close in very, very quickly. Third is Bill Rick, and the 16 of Ken Pettit now holds on to spot number 4. Looks up to the high side now for spot number 3. White flag flies. Ken Pettit getting himself into the top 3 running order behind Pasquale and Conklin. Gonna try and make a last lap ditch effort for the number 1 spot. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Conklin holds on to it right now. Pettit now on the back bumper. Pasquale down in between turns number 3 and 4. Bumper to bumper, we got him going for spots 1, 2, and 3. Joey Conklin holds on to it. Pasquale right behind. Pettit right there. Dual checkered flags are flying. Your feature winner down the front straight ahead of Pine Island, New York, the J73, Joe Conklin. Second, Bill Pasquale. Third, Ken Pettit. Fourth, Bill Rick. And fifth, Mike Van Pelt. Mike Billieu. Row 2 would be Robert Scott and Tony Lodo, the Trailer King, number 711. Row number 3, the 214 of Frank Smith and the 44 of Lane Krapinski. Row 4, Jerry Bohr and Mike Mill. Row 5, last week's feature winners, the 41 of Mike Weed and the 19, Jeff Claret. And the 90 of Carol Bushwell. Row number 8 would be the 777 of Lynn Durant and the 51 of Mike Ward. And your final starter, spot number 17, first time here from the Bronx, New York, car number 114 would be Tony Rispin.
I wonder why. They get some catch up on the accidents.
As they came by the finish line in the last feature event, but under the caution passed 2 cars, so he will be set back 4 spots, 2 spots for each car, so he will finish 7th. So the caution light turned out around the Speedway. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car sets him free up in turns number 3 and 4. Mike Pallone, Mike Billieu, pair of Mikes off of turn number 4 in the number 1 row. Green flag set to fly this time down the front straightaway, and it does. Mike Pallone, your number 1 man with Tony Lodo ripped in right behind for spot number 2. Lane Krapinski in spot number 3. Robert Scott 4th, and the 77 of Mike Mill. Scott Mill back there in spot number 5. Mike Mayday Mill swings down to the low side of Scott for the number 4 position with Lane Krapinski just ahead. The Trailer King 711 of Tony Lodo hanging on to the runner-up spot. And Mike Pallone out of Warwick, New York holds on to the number 1 spot off of turn number 4. Lap number 1 completed now down towards turn number 1. We got him going. Jeff Claret and Carol Bushwell just a couple of spots back between spots number 5 right now. Mike Pallone, your number 1 man with Tony Lodo, wrapped right in there for spot number 2. Krapinski holding on to 3rd with Mill, now beginning to mount the challenge to Robert Scott down the back straightaway. Jeff Claret now just 1 spot out of the top 5 running order, holds on to spot number 6 with Craig Braun and Carol Bushwell just behind. Bumper to bumper to bumper, they come off of turn number 4 right now. Your race leader, Mike Pallone out of Warwick, New York, hangs on to the number 1 spot. Tony Lodo closing in very, very quickly now down towards turn number 1, but holding on to the runner-up spot with Lane Krapinski third. Robert Scott 4th, and now working his way through the back of the pack comes Edgar Hedges. Hedges, number 2 man in the points, finds himself sitting right behind Bushwell now off of turn number 2 down towards turn number 3. We got him going. Your number 1 man is still Mike Pallone with Tony Lodo trying desperately to find a way around as Lane Krapinski now holds on to spot number 3 down the front straightaway. Mike Pallone, your number 1 man. Lodo looks down to the low side, trying to work his way around. Mike Pallone for the number 1 spot is the Trailer King 711 of Tony Lodo. Lane Krapinski holds on to spot number 3 with Robert Scott 4th, and here comes Mill once again. Tony Lodo now trying to take over the number 1 spot in between turns number 3 and 4. Mike Pallone up on the high side. Tony Lodo down low off of turn number 4. 4 laps down, and we've got ourselves a new race leader, the trailer, King 711 of Tony Lodo. Mike Pallone holds on to the runner-up spot with Krupinski, holding them off back there in spot number 3. Robert Scott 4th, and Mike Mayday Mill rounding out the top 5. Down the back straightaway, Lodo now beginning to put some distance between himself and number 2 man, Mike Pallone, as we head down towards turn number 3. Mike Pallone out of Warwick, New York, holds on to the number 2 spot with Lane Krupinski, rounding out the top 3. Scott is now back in spot number 4, and Mike Mill rounding out the top 5. Jeff Claudette now trying to work himself into a top 5 running order. Feature winner last week with the Red Rose Farms number 19. Now being challenged by the 51 of Mike Ward. Off of turn number 2, Carol Bushwell. Again a little bit squirrely. Lynn Moran sneaks down on the low side. Grabbing by now is Bushwell. Battles back in spot number 8. Meanwhile, off the turn number 4, 6 laps down and 2 to go for the trailer. King 711, Tony Lodo. Mike Pallone holding on to the runner-up spot. Robert Scott now holding on to spot number 3 with Mike Mill 4th, and Mike Ward rounding out spot number 5. Tony Lodo working his way through the lap traffic now as he gets on to turn number 3. Look out over in turn number 2 for Mike Murphy. Murphy gets it around the wrong direction over there. Off of turn number 4, we got him coming down. Your race leader is the 711 of Tony Lodo. Caution out around the Speedway. So the caution coming out for the 36 of Mike Murphy, tonight's Dash for Cash sponsor. Lodo, a one-time feature winner in the 1991 season. Now, if that car looks familiar to you, that's the former Tommy Meyer 33 1/3 street stock from last year, the novice street stock point champion last year. So the car is definitely a potent street stocker. Lodo, in his first year of racing, getting adapted to the 5/8 mile very, very quickly. As we mentioned, 1 feature win already. Going to try and make it number 2 here this evening on double points night. Mike Pallone out of Warwick, New York, 6 of Mike Murphy back into the pit area. Caution light turned out. Fulton Chevrolet pace car sets him free. Off the turn number 4. Tony Lodo and the trailer king number 711 holds on to the number 1 spot. Green and white this time being displayed. 4 more left-hand turns and Lodo comes home with a feature win. Pallone now holds on to spot number 2 with Kevin Ward back in spot number 3. Ward starting all the way back in spot number 17 holds on to the number 3 position off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Scott now dropping way down right now as a dual checkered flag set to fly this time down the front straightaway. Driving the trailer, King 711, second time in the 1991 season. Your feature winner, the 711, Tony Lodo. Finishing second would be Mike Pallone, 3rd Kevin Ward, 4th Mike Mill, and 5th Jeff Claudette. And Joey Conklin also backing the Altron transmission number J73 down in the victory lane for the 4th time in 1991. Climbing out of the car is the winner of the first rookie street stock feature event, Joe Conklin. Well, Joe, it's been a while since we talked to you down here in victory lane. Tell us, what's been going on in the past month for the Altron transmissions J73?
A lot of hard work this week after the accident down there in the 3rd turn. I'd like to thank the guys from the 37J racing team and all the people that helped me put this together this week.
Well, it was double points night tonight. You found yourself tied for 3rd, I do believe, coming into this evening. Now, Ken Pettit did finish 3rd in your feature event, but being set back 4 spots for jumping on 1 restart, so puts him back in 7th. You made up a bunch of points. How do you feel about that?
Great. I'd love to take the point championship this year.
Well, you've been running good all year. 4 feature wins to your credit, and another good one here this evening. Great race.
Thanks.
All right, Joey Conklin picking up a victory here once again this evening. Tony Lodo standing down here in victory lane for the 2nd time in 1991. Tony, just like Joe, it's been a while since we talked to you down here in victory lane. You ran a great race.
Hey, it was good to be back here. We worked real hard this week, did a lot of work to the car. Trailer King stood behind us the whole way. I owe a lot to Steve. And a lot of hard work, and we got there.
Well, tonight was double points. You helped yourself up. You picked up victory number 2.
Of course, your sponsor here is going to be bringing out the Big Block Dash for cash. What do you think? A couple years down the line, you're going to find yourself behind the wheel of a big block?
I think in the next 5 years we're going to be there. With Steve's help, we'll be there.
Well, that's what it takes. A lot of ambition, a lot of hard work. You ran a great race. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Tony Lodo picking up victory number 2
in the 20K. Row 6, the 15 of Johan Hogney and the 24J, Russ Crotty. Row 7, the 9-car, Eddie Redner, the 04 Junior, Lenny Bogart. Row 8, the 33 and the 3rd of Tommy Meyer and the 54R, Gary Robinson, followed by Ray Ackerley in the 00 and Bert Irwin Jr., the 156 car. Built-in Chevrolet pace car drops down to the inside, set to go racing. Third Sportsman style as the first of 2 12-lap feature events now on Dale. Tim Hindley, the Mike LaBar, Builder of Excellence, number 17H car, grabs the number 1 spot. Rich Ford in the number 42 car, back there in spot number 2, Bill Haley is third, but here comes Gary Wood onto the inside. Wood on a New Milford, Connecticut, the 18D car, back there in third spot. Here we come on a turn number 4 this time. Tim Hindley brings him down the home straightaway. Rich Ford back there in spot number 2. Ford in the 42 car. Gary Ward now for third, and Kevin Van Valkenburg up there to spot number 4. Bill Haley back there in spot number 5. Ronnie Huber is 6th. Huber makes a break into the top 5 right now as he gets by Bill Haley for spot number 5. Tim Hindley holds on to the lead. Rich Ford goes to the outside, letting Gary Wood by for spot number 2. Gary Wood now takes over the second spot. Rich Ford is third. Kevin Van Valkenburg back there in spot number 4. Ronnie Huber rounds out the top 5. Ford goes to the high side. Van Valkenburg slides by for spot number 3. Kevin Van Valkenburg, the Mack Racing number 20K car, back there in spot number 3 right now. Rich Ford running in spot number 4. And Ronnie Huber rounding out the top 5 action. 3 laps have now been complete, 3 down. And 9 to go in the first of 2 Dirt Sportsman feature events. Tim Hindley holds on to the lead. Gary Wood still second. Kevin Van Valkenburg back there in spot number 3. Richie Ford fourth. Ronnie Huber still rounds out the top 5. Bob Ryder back there in spot number 6, but here comes Tommy Meyer on the outside. Meyer, the 33 in the 3rd car, now makes a break into spot number 6. Here we come, down the home straightaway. Jim Hindley holds on to the lead. Gary Wood still second. Kevin Van Valkenburg is third. Ronnie Huber fourth, and here comes Meyer on the outside. Meyer, that FNS Service 33 in the 3rd car, now makes a break into the top 5 running order. Tommy Meyer doing very good in the point standings out there, looking for the double track points feature finish out here tonight. Here we come on a turn number 4. Van Valkenburg puts the move on Gary Wood for spot number 2. Van Valkenburg, the Rolling Thunder car with the yellow lights come on. Caution lights on around the Speedway. We've got problems down in turn number 4. Well, the T-car, Brian Timko, the 9 of Eddie Redner. He looks like the 42 also of Rich Ford. Back to the infield right now. All right, so now been turned out. We're set to go back to racing this time. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car going to pull back to the inside. Tim Hindley, the Mike LaBar, Builder of Excellence, number 17H car, your pole sitter. Hindley brings that field of Dirt Sportsman down in turns number 3 and 4. Started Kenny Marshall looking him over real closely. Here they come on a turn number 4. The green flag flies, and we'll go back to racing. Hindley and Wood, side by side, as they go down to turns number 1 and 2. Kevin Van Valkenburg on the outside. Here comes Gary Wood, the 18D car. He puts the heat on down the back straightaway on the outside groove. Look out for Gary Robinson, the 54R car. Robinson gets it all straightened back out after trapping with that turn 2 concrete. Meanwhile, the halfway point coming out this time. 6 laps down and 6 to go for race leader Gary Wood. Wood holds on to the number 1 spot. Hindley second. Tommy Meyer now up in the number 3 spot. Kevin Van Valkenburg is fourth, and Ronnie Huber back there in spot number 5. Down the back straightaway, they motor this time. The Colonial Diner 517 car. Bobby Ryder back there in spot number 6. Ray Ackerley is 7th. Lenny Bogart back in spot number 8 with the Peak Performance 04 Junior. Here we come on a turn number 4. Watch Tommy Meyer try to make a move on the outside. Meyer, the FNS Service 33 in the 3rd car. A very hot runner in the Dirt Sportsman ranks this year. A visitor to Victory Lane many times in the 91 racing season. Nose and tail, they take him down the back straightaway. Gary Wood knows the freight trains are rolling. Wood holds on to the number 1 spot. Hindley looks to the outside. Meyer drops down to the inside with Van Valkenburg. Back there in spot number 4. Here we come on a turn number 4 this time. 3 cars all shooting for the number 1 spot. Gary Wood holding off the finest right now. The number 18D car, Tommy Meyer, gets by for spot number 2. Hindley back there in the 3rd spot. Hindley back there in the number 3 position right now. Kevin Van Valkenburg is 4th. Ronnie Huber back in spot number 5. Watch Tommy Meyer back there in the number 2 spot. Gary Wood holds off the hard-charging F&S car. Coming out of turns 3 and 4 this time. Meyer looks to the outside. Here he comes, rolling down the home straightaway this time. Gary Wood still holds on to the number 1 spot. Wood takes that center line groove. Down in turns number 1 and 2, Meyer right there like a shadow in spot number 2. Coming up on 2 laps to go this time around. Meyer back there in the 2nd spot. Heinrich is 3rd. Van Valkenburg back in spot number 4, followed by Gary Huber in spot number 5. Here we come. This time, 2 laps to go. Meyer drops down to the inside. Drag racing down the home straightaway. Tommy Meyer grabs the number 1 spot. Tommy Meyer, the 33 in the 3rd car. Now your leader down in turns 1 and 2. And Kevin Van Valkenburg gets by the scramble for the 2nd spot. Gary Wood is 3rd. Here comes Heinley rebounding back on the outside for spot number 4. White flag going to fly this time. White flag's coming out just in the nick of time for the 33 in the 3rd car, Tommy Meyer. Meyer coming through that pack very, very quickly, grabbing the number 1 spot. Van Valkenburg looking very good. Back there in spot number 2, the Copytron Mac Racing Rolling Thunder car. Kevin Van Valkenburg running back there in the 2nd spot. And point leader Tommy Meyer coming down in turns number 3 and 4 right now. Looking for future win number 6 here in the 1991 Trail the Thrill, the 33 in the 3rd, Tommy Meyer. 2nd spot, it's Kevin Van Valkenburg. 3rd, Gary Wood. 4th, it's Tim Hindley, followed by Ronnie Huber. Out to the Speedway, they'll line them up like this. Your pole sitter, the 75 of Floyd Rose. Alongside Floyd, the 300 car, Davey Farber. Row Domini. Row 7, the 77 junior, Donnie Smith, and the 85 of Phil Dickinson. Row number 8, the 44 car, Rick Mill, and the 3 of Ricky Lapine. Row number 9, and the 45, Eddie Sweetman, and in the number 74 car, Brian Stortine. Out here in this feature event with the Judd Construction RK Manufacturing number 18 car. And Knight will also have his work cut out for him tonight, starting way back in spot number 11. Rick Mill also 3rd in points, starting back there in spot number 15. Lenny Bogart, J.D. Taylor, who were back in the, Lenny Bogart was in the last feature event. J.D. Taylor currently 5th in 5 car. He's your pole sitter right now. Caution lights have been turned out. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car moves down to the inside, looking for the green flag start this time. Floyd Rose and Davey Farber. Farber, a 2-time feature winner out here in 1991. He's a hot shoe on the outside. Here we come. Down the home straightaway, the green flag flies, and we go racing. Davey Farber, the Sparta Equipment, Katie's Ford 300 machine, rolls out to the number 1 spot. Here comes Billy Papula on the outside, the Blue Water Pool Service, number 1 car. Papula back there in the number 2 spot. Floyd Rose is 3rd, but we've got problems down the back straightaway. Yellow lights coming on. We see the 27 car. That, of course, coming up 1 week from tonight here at the Orange County Speedway. Well, the track has now been cleared. We're set to go back to green flag racing. Caution light turned out. Race safe systems get turned off as well. Fulton Chevrolet pace car back down to the inside. Davey Farber, the Sparta Equipment, number 300 car. Here we come on a turn number 4. Starter Kenny Marshall with the green flag back up, and we're back to racing. Farber grabs back the number 1 spot. Bill Papula on the outside with the Blue Water Pool number 1 car. Back in here in the number 2 spot. Here comes Stevie Birchwell. Birchwell, the white 33 car down the back straightaway. Jim to it. Back there in the number 4 spot. Floyd Rose rounds out the top 5. Here we come out of turn number 4 this time. Race leader, the Katie's Ford 300 car, Davey Farber. Bill Papula 2nd, Stevie Birchwell still 3rd, Jimmy Stewart 4th, Floyd Rose back there in spot number 5, Greg Slater 6th, Billy Green back in spot number 7th, Bobby Knight now back in spot number 8, Dave Kuhn is 9th, and here comes Rick Mill on the inside, the Chappaqua transportation car for spot number 10. Coming out of turn number 4 this time, Stevie Birchwell grabs the runner-up spot from Bill Papula. Papula on the high side. Here comes Jimmy Tuitt down low, the Old Woods Landscaping 318 car. And Tuitt battling it out right now with Bill Papula for spot number 3. Stevie Birchwell running in that runner-up spot. And Davey Farber hammered down. He ain't looking back. Down in turns number 3 and 4 right now. Barber, a multi-time feature winner here in 1991. A very strong runner for the Dirt Sportsman race. Stevie Birchwell still second. Jim Stewart back there in third, and here comes Greg Slate down on the inside. A yellow 98 car now makes a break for the top 5 running order. Bill Papula looking on the outside for spot number 4. Bobby Knight, the RK manufacturing car. Now comes up to the number 6. Knight for the number 2 point standings right now. Running back there in spot number 6. Race leader Davey Farber brings him down the home straightaway. Stevie Birchwell is second. Jim Stewart third. Bill Papula fourth. Greg Slate back there in spot number 5. Slate with a lawn maintenance number 98 car. Papula looks to the outside on Jim Tewitt, but Tewitt holds on to the number 3 spot. Moving up to the halfway point this time. Halfway, 6 laps down and 6 to go. Here we come, down the home straightaway. Davey Farber holds on to the lead. Stevie Birchwell slowly closing up that gap. Birchwell out of Westwood, New Jersey, the white 33 car. Back there in the number 2 spot. Bobby Knight tries to make a break into the top 5. Slingshots down to the inside. And Knight gets by Greg Slate. Slate dropping off the pace, going down the back straightaway. Something wrong with the lawn maintenance number 98 car. Yellow lights will come on. Yellow lights come on for Greg Slate with car number 98. Tire on that car. Caution lights have now been turned out. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car moves back down to the inside, set to go back to racing, single file style. Here we come out of turns number 3 and 4 this time. 7 laps down, and Davey Farber knows it's time to go racing. Green flag flies, and here we go. Watch out for Stevie Birchwell. Birchwell drops down to the inside groove. Davey Farber got the horsepower out front right now as he moves down the back straightaway. Farber holds on to the lead. Birchwell back there in spot number 2. Jimmy Tewitt running in third. Tewitt back there in the number 3 spot. Bobby Knight looks down to the inside on Bill Papula for spot number 4. Papula keeps the blue water pool number 1 car up on the outside line. Here we come, rolling down the straightaway. Davey Farber holds on to the number 1 spot. Birchwell is second. 3 cars looking for the number 3 spot right now. Jim Tewitt holds on to that third place battle. Bill Papula on the outside. He rides the rim shot, going down the back straightaway. Papula, the number 1 car, tries to pick up that third spot, and Jim Tewitt, a very good ride down low. Bobby Knight working well on the outside, and Rick Mill waiting right back there in the shadow. 9 laps to go. The battle for the number 1 spot now taking shape. Birchwell down to the inside. Farber caught in the outside groove. Wheel to wheel, side by side, down the back straightaway. And Birchwell tangles with the race leader Farber. Yellow lights coming on around the Speedway. And a very tough break for the top 2 runners. Stevie Birchwell, Davey Farber battling. Farber moves away right now under his own power. The Indy down to the pit area right now. Wrecking service going to help out Stevie Birchwell. Birchwell out of Westwood, New Jersey. Back for another. Caution lights now get turned out. The Fulton Chevrolet pace car back down to the inside. 2 more quick laps to go for the second Dirt Sportsman feature event. Bill Papula going to try and hold off the Hard Chargers back there in spots 2 and 3. Here we come down the home straightaway. The green flag flies, and we go back to racing. Rick Mill dives down to the inside. Mill, the 44 car, looking for another feature win out here tonight. Down the back straightaway, they motor it at all. Rick Mill. Mill up there in the number 1 spot, and here comes Bobby Knight on the inside. The white flag coming out. 3 cars looking for a feature win out here tonight. Bill Papula knows it's time to stand on it coming down the home straightaway. White flag comes out. The last lap feature event action right now. Papula on the outside. Rick Mill back to the number 2 spot. Bill Papula grabs the number 1 spot, motoring down the back straightaway. Second spot going up for grabs right now. Bobby Knight on the outside. Here it comes. Checkered flag time, the winner. The number 1 car rolling down the home straightaway. Bill Papula. Second spot is going to be a close one for Bobby Knight, followed by Rick Mill, Jim Tewitt, and Billy Green. We'll talk about Dirt Sportsman. Feature excitement, winning it by a whisker. The number 1 car, Bill Papula. Seconds come with another feature event win out here. Papula, who had all the hottest Dirt Sportsman winners right on his tail. Of course, Bobby Knight, who moved to the outside in the checkered flag maneuver. Rick Mill right there in spot number. Well, Bill Papula, this is going to be a night you're never going to forget.
No, never. Not against the two hot dogs, Bobby and Rick. I didn't think my chances were going to be here.
What went through your mind on the restart? You saw Bobby Knife, you saw Rick Mill, they got by you. What went through your mind as you shot by them?
Pass. Give them hell, just like they've been giving me the whole season, everybody else.
Then you came down the straightaway, the checkered flag was flying, you looked over to your right, and there was Bobby Knife.
Well, I wasn't letting up, that's all I'm saying. I want to say thanks to my crew and a lot of people out here to support us, and it makes you feel special. And if it wasn't for these guys here, we wouldn't be here winning, because driving's only a small part of winning a race.
Well, obviously the Blue Water Pool car working at its peak out there tonight, and you can now run with the top dogs.
All right, is there a couple of people I could have come in and have pictures?
Okay, there you go, Bill Papula. Looks like you're going to shoot for that point title out there this year in a good way tonight with a double track points feature win.
Well, this year double points have been real good to us. We won them both this year so far. We got one more to go. We just got to keep cleaning that one, that's all.
So the FNS service car working at its peak out there tonight?
This car, it just keeps getting better and better. We keep doing a little bit and it gets better and better. I don't know how much better it can get.
Well, it looks like it's going to carry you to possibly a point championship out there this year. Congratulations once again to Tommy Meyer.